Welcome back to school. For those of you who are new to the district or have never worked with a student who uses AAC, we are so excited to partner with you this school year. To those of you with whom we have established partnerships, we look forward to continuing to learn, grow, and collaborate with you this school year. Now, before we get into the details, let's start by introducing ourselves so you know who your AAC support team is this year. My name is Erin Ross, and I am the Assistive Technology Facilitator for the district. This is my 9th year as an AT facilitator. I began my career as a special education teacher. And I don't work alone. AAC is always a team effort. Let me introduce you to my partner in this work. Vicky Weisbart is the speech-language coach for the district and is also a speech-language pathologist. Together, we've supported many classrooms with AAC, and we know that for some of you, this might feel brand new, maybe even a little intimidating. That's why we want to start with a message we hope will put you at ease. If this is your first time having a student who uses augmentative alternative communication in your class, or if you've had many students who use AAC, this quote from Ken Pruitt, a former Smartbox employee, captures something important. AAC, speech, and building language are not universal things that all educators just inherently get. If they come into the conversation thinking this is the main topic, then it's tough to get them to have an open mind. I've seen that look. The one that crosses educators' faces when yet another teaching approach is mentioned in a meeting. Another thing on my plate? Isn't this something for specialists? I understand. When language modeling enters the conversation, that's when I see shoulders tense and brows furrow. It's a similar look when reading across the curriculum was the buzz. Let me pause right there and acknowledge. Your plate is overflowing. You're right. I fought the good fight with you for 2 decades. But what if I told you modeling isn't actually a new skill to master? Every time you've taught a child to read by pointing to words as you say them, demonstrated a math problem while explaining your steps, or used gestures while giving directions, you are already modeling. Modeling simply means providing multiple ways to access and express language. It's not an extra responsibility, it's extending what great educators already do naturally. The beautiful truth? This approach creates richer learning environments for every student in your classroom, particularly for visual learners, kinesthetic learners, English language learners, and those who benefit from multiple representations of concepts. We're not asking anyone to do more. We're inviting you to recognize the powerful teaching tools you already possess. It's natural to feel a little overwhelmed or wonder if you're doing it right. But here's the good news. You already have the foundation to implement and model AAC successfully. Let's talk about how that looks at the start of the school year. We begin the school year by establishing routines. Just like you set expectations for lining up, morning meeting, or homework, AAC benefits from consistent routines too. And to make that easier, we've built in tools and supports so you're not figuring it out alone. Make sure your students take their talker out of their backpacks every day. Communication happens everywhere. The talker goes everywhere with them, including the bathroom, lunch, recess, encore classes. In your initial communication to parents, remind them to have their child take their talker out of their backpack when they get home. Charge their talkers when they go to bed. This year, every general education classroom with a student who uses AAC will have a buddy iPad with the same app as the student's device. Think of it as your hands-on way to model AAC for the whole class. And speaking of tools, there's more in your starter kit. Your buddy iPad comes in a protective case with a cross-body strap and a hand strap. We encourage you to wear it. Why? It sets the expectation that AAC is an accepted communication method in your classroom. The buddy iPad is meant for all students to use. How should they use it? Here are some ideas. During morning meeting, soft start, in class discussions, and answering questions. You can mirror it to your classroom screen. Before the first day of school, you'll get your buddy iPad, a poster for where you usually teach, a mini core board to put on the other side of your ID attached to your lanyard, and core boards to place around the classroom. Once your classroom is set up, the next step is to help students see AAC beyond the 4 walls of the classroom. Within the first 2 weeks, we encourage you to take your students to the playground communication board, show them what it is, and how to use it with friends. This is also a perfect moment to remind students and ourselves that communication comes in many forms: AAC, verbal speech, gestures, facial expressions, and more. And we've got even more ways to help you keep AAC in the spotlight all year. If you have a student who uses AAC, you're automatically part of our core vocabulary initiative. Each month, we share a word of the month, along with strategies, door signs, hang outside your classroom, so anyone coming into your classroom knows what the word of the month is and how to find it on a student's talker, family newsletters, and even short monthly meetings with your building speech-language pathologist to keep things fresh. And soon, we'll have quick 10-minute scripted mini lessons ready for you, so you can easily lead activities that build peer communication skills. Speaking of easy, let's make sure you know how to reach us when you need support. Here's how you can reach both of us. Email is often the quickest way. We want you to know that coaching, co-teaching, and problem-solving together are all part of our job. So as we wrap up, we want to leave you with one final thought. We can't wait to see the creative, thoughtful ways you bring AAC into your classrooms this year. Please invite us to your classrooms so we can experience and celebrate these powerful moments with you.